I have one, let's call the meeting to order. Roll call will show that, Commissioner Novak is on remote. So we're here.
And if I may just remind the commission, since he is attending remotely, you need to do roll call outside any motions.
Okay, the first item will be approval of agenda. Do you have any additions or deletions, staff?
None, Sammy.
Guys? I make a motion to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion?
Second.
A motion and second to approve the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Take your name.
Yeah, you should do a roll call.
Yeah, we have to do a roll call there, so.
Okay.
So if you want to have, you want to third?
Well, I'm sorry,
Nick
Mr. Chair.
Novak.
We have a motion and a second.
So then if you just want to ask Tom, then ask Nick. and then-
Okay, Tom. Aye. Nick?
Aye.
I'm aye. That motion carries. The next item on the agenda is public comment. Yeah, okay, welcome. And just, we limit the comment period to 3 minutes.
Yeah,
Your name and your.
my name is Ashley Hughes. I own Go Savvy Social. We just moved to a new place in town off Rum River Drive where the old Believe On Boutique used to be. I'm told that utilities have never cost more than $1,200 a year. In the previous years of the space, they're asking for a $700 deposit that they're going to hold for 2 years on a space that costs no more than $1,200 in utilities a year. I understand that it is a commercial space, but it's me in the building. And I guess I think advocating for the other small businesses in town and small spaces like this, when you have manufacturing plants, I mean, is that 700? I just feel like between signage and everything that went into this new space, it's like 700 is still slightly ridiculous. So that's my public commentary, and I'd like to ask for help with that. I have previous good history residentially with Princeton Public Utilities. I have good credit. I have good utilities in Zimmerman now. I just don't see, like, I don't know why I should be paying as a small business for a lot of other mistakes on behalf of businesses in the community.
My time, first time anybody's ever brought it up, the violence. So, and we don't make decisions today. So take your comments under advisory. And it's up to the commission if we need to look into the deposit policy. We'd have to take it up at a later date and won't be today.
So what happens if I don't pay? I mean, am I gonna still get a bill? What is it? I mean, like, if I pay it regularly, do you not start utilities? What is?
Mr. Chair, if I can add that one. Yes, the current policy is that all businesses have to pay a deposit in order to be an active customer. So if the deposit isn't paid, that would mean that the application is not complete, and ultimately we would have to turn off service from that property. I think what the chair is saying is, and I did look into this beforehand, the current commercial policy said at $700 has been that way at least since 2018. That's the furthest I can go back easily to our record. So we haven't even updated that for inflation. So it has been set that way for many, many years. We've been updating a lot of other stuff internally, but if it's the commission's prerogative, it is something that we could put on a future agenda item to discuss to see if that is a policy that needs to be revisited. I guess we would be looking at changing it going forward at that. So we still have the customer service that's in place that is enforced per commission policy.
Yeah, it's one question. The $700 is their money.
Correct. It is
not
correct.
Like
it generates interest and then does get returned once the account is.
It gets returned at the end of a 2-year term.
I don't. That is not. It's for businesses.
For not for commercial customers. For residential, yes. For commercial businesses, no, it stays on the length that you have the account. And then once you close the account, then that's paid to you in full.
And then you will
With
get
any-
interest payments annually.
Mhm.
That's dictated by the state.
Does the interest? I'm sorry if I'm asking questions, but does the interest get paid out yearly then, or just?
Every December,
I believe it goes on the January bill, or it is on the December as a credit, yes.
So you've got to be credit for the following bill.
Yep.
At the end of the year.
Yes.
Yeah, and again, as I said, I myself have never had a reason to look at it, I guess, but never been brought up, so.
I just think like personally, there's a lot of, I mean, I was in just a suite before in town, but there's a lot of incurred costs the initial few months of the business. And it's a lot of things that it's like, holy, why? I mean, from the city to the here to the, it's like boom, 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 boom. If it was a space that was larger and not $1,200 a year, I mean, more power to you, yes, but a percentage of the bill previous or something that makes sense for,
yeah, the difficulty we ran into was every business is unique. We ran this on the residential side. Even if we did that, you could have a large family who's home all the time, who has a very large bill, and then an individual moves in. And so because we don't have a history for our businesses when they come to town, it's very difficult to find an equitable way to calculate what that is. In my experience, I just haven't found that a previous business is the same as the new business that comes in. It's less a function of the square footage of the building and more a function of how it's used, how many hours they're open, what kind of equipment they have, and it just gets very difficult. Like I said, in a fair and equitable way.
no, it's not fair. It's not fair and equitable right now. I'm gonna be, I mean, from my standpoint, it is absolutely not fair at.
Well, we got, that is policy in place today, and that's, we don't make exceptions. That by law, you don't. Did you have anything to add, Nick, or?
Yeah, no, I understand the concern and I'm hearing the concern. It's not something we need to get a full understanding of what the policy is. This hasn't come up while I've been a member, and I don't think while anyone's been a member. So, I'd be very interested in having Keith and his staff pull the policy, analyze the policy, and then we'll take this. I definitely think this is something we should look at in a future meeting and make sure the policy makes sense for everyone who it applies to as best we can.
Okay. Well, that's what's public comment is, we receive the input and then we take it from there.
Will
Yeah,
I
but
be
not-
notified as
we don't
future
have to-
conversation is being had on the topic?
Yeah, I can let you know when it's on the agenda.
Okay. Okay,
But like I asked, in the meantime, the policy enforces what we're gonna have to abide by.
in the meantime, I'm gonna decide if that's
Pardon?
aligned with my business. Thank you.
So based off what Commissioner Novak said, I'm assuming there's a consensus of the commission to put this on a future agenda.
Well,
And provide some.
I should be okay with it, I guess.
Okay. I don't see a need for a motion. I'll just take that as a consensus.
Yeah, no, it's not.
For the topic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, in my time, it was the first time I've ever heard a deposit policy brought up in any respect, any regard. And not saying we should ignore it, but look at it, I guess. Anybody else for public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Anybody have anything they want to discuss further on the consent agenda?
I do not.
I'm sorry, just get some chair. Give us a second. I just did want to share, because I think, Commissioner Jackson, I think you and I talked about it. Just so that everybody is aware, one of the questions that he had asked, that I think it's important that everybody make sure that they know, the SIMPA rebates, or the rebates we give for energy efficiency rebate program. So the question came up, that is a reimbursable expense by SIMPA. That's part, they run that program, all the members contribute to it, and then our customers participate in it. So that is a cost that is coming from that cost that we do for the rebate checks does get reimbursed to us by SIPA.
Is that,
After the fact?
is that like we pay it this month, they pay us back?
That's correct.
Hey, you're talking about like, there was a lot to do around.
The big checks and all that stuff, yes. Yeah. So,
Okay, we need action on that.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
We have a motion,
Commissioner Novak, second.
okay, we have we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Tom says aye.
Nick says aye.
Okay, and Jack is aye, so that passes. Report. Okay, I just had a couple of things in the report, but we're actually talking about them later. PFAS was one. And, I guess the bid packet. I know they're on the agenda, so it doesn't. So this is not action item. Does anybody else have any questions for Scott or Jeremy? Or anybody?
I didn't have any further questions.
Zach, you got anything?
I do not, but I appreciate all the updates as usual. Thank you.
Okay, we move on to the regular agenda and the Third Street bid package.
yes, Mr. Chair, so in your packets is the bid package for the Third Street project this year. We do have Kevin Kruger from WSB. Kevin, if you would like to come up and joining us.
Sure thing.
Kevin is gracious enough to spend his time. I don't know that the commission has met Kevin yet. He's our new WSB engineer. So, for the projects, he's also the city engineer for other street improvements and sewer main upgrades. Kevin was gracious enough to put together a memo for us for the bidding of the project. There's quite a few parts to this. There's the city component with the roads and sewer and stormwater. There's our water main improvement, but the city's also looking for some state aid, which I'm not going to pretend to understand that process. In a project like this, the city has always taken the lead on it, which means they're the ones that post it and do the bid openings. But still, the commission would have to approve our section of it, and then it gets wrapped into the project. The only thing I will add to that is during the design phase, it was pointed out that maybe we should take the opportunity and also look at redoing part of 14th Avenue between 2nd and 3rd Street. Given the lateness of the project, that wasn't the original scope that the commission and the council approved. We decided to move forward with putting that in as an alternate so that we didn't mess up the timeline here, so we can still do the project this year. And then give the commission and the council the ability to review that as an alternate bid and then decide at that time, depending upon how the bid works out. That's kind of the 50,000 foot level. Kevin, I don't know if you want to add anything.
No, you took everything I was gonna say, so
Okay,
perfect.
we did want to have Kevin here though, in case folks did have some more detailed questions about the project or the process or what the state's work or what the city's side of it is.
Or any additional questions on 14th Ave as well, if you had any questions on that budgeting side of things.
Doing it like a side job, separate.
Kind of an extension. There's a block from from First to Second Street has already been done. That was updated. I don't know the exact time frame, but that one, that section has been upgraded. So then it'd be from Second to Third Street, kind of fill in the gap there of to tie in the two newer projects together. Yes, yeah, so we're kind of old stretch. Yeah, kind of everything's there. Was one of them. It was maybe not there if the bid's coming favorable, that we add that last piece in there to kind of loop everything back in there as one continuously fairly new on the other stuff and new project on the other end.
So-
Go ahead, Nick.
I was just gonna say, so this will be bid as an ad alternate.
Correct.
Correct.
And then I would venture guess that from First Street, what's probably done when they redid First Street.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, yeah, that was part of the First Street project.
The Second Street is not done, nothing been done on Second, don't worry.
Yeah, I think there was some, when they did the First Street, there was some sewer stuff that they stormed and some sanitary maybe that they
Yeah.
upgraded there. So they were coming down there already, so they updated the utilities to that corner. Tied back into the existing, going both directions there on Second and.
So this would be more of a city question, like if it's, the answer to sanitary sewer is the same position. So it should be up, on our side of it. We definitely upgraded.
There actually isn't any sanitary in this stretch of 14th. So they don't have any sanitary sewer that'll be improved. It would just be water main, and if there's a little bit of storm
All
sewer.
of the sanitary.
Yep, yeah, that stretch actually doesn't have any sanitary.
The house is kind of split in the middle of the block and go back towards Second Street or
Yeah.
Third Street there, so
Sorry, Second Street.
along your service lines, I guess it would be.
Yeah, I think there's a line that runs actually in I think there's a alleyway in the back there that the sanitary is actually running along. But it would just be water main under 14th Ave.
So it'd be a lot easier.
A little less, yeah, it would be nothing to contend with there. I think there's 3 or 4 services on there that we would catch on the way by. Same as we're doing the other project, putting in new curb stops at the edge of the right of way, doing up to that point.
What we're voting on is the approval to get a second, that add.
As an adult, yep.
I'm
And
saying that you're going to do it.
We
You're
just
saying-
need a motion to
Yeah.
say,
And-
okay, get the bid.
Yeah, the motion is really to approve the bidding process. And that's the design and details, what, are at 80%?
yeah,
Anyway,
75-ish.
we're continuing to work on it behind the scenes, but we need to get the wording and the public notice side of it. And it's in front of city council tomorrow night.
Yep.
So commission will do it today, you know, if you guys are okay with it, approve it here, and then the council, if they're okay. Tomorrow night, and then Kevin can move forward.
But if there's no sanitary sewer involved, the city, like, well, we'll talk about it tomorrow night. We'll have to share the digging of the road and stuff, right?
Well, the city is taking care of the street improvement, and the storm, and then we would be responsible for the water. But, you know.
So
I think-
The electric doesn't come that way either.
But that just certainly won't be part of the state aid funding.
Nope. That would be local funding or city funding.
But, real quick, Scott and I have talked about it, when we're replacing water main, removing the street and putting it back in, that's a big cost for us. So they're gonna be doing that anyway. For us to replace the main is.
Right.
Oh, is it?
Back in 60s.
Oh, that's what that means.
You know, it's part of the original stuff, and it's never been. I think that's all original from when that stuff was all developed.
Well, and the water and sewers are all pretty deep in that area, so it wouldn't have to be digging farther. But digging about to replace just the water. I would think.
Yeah, we'd only be looking at going down probably the 8 feet for the water main. Yep.
But the sewer, you're probably going.
Some of it's like 15 to 18.
So, Mr. Chair, I think Commissioner Novak had a question.
Yeah, okay, sorry.
No, it was answered actually in the discourse of the conversation. I heard, so what my question was gonna be. I was just gonna ask what the city's role in that on 14th was, but I heard, so.
So we do have to do action on approving the bid process then. Well, if we should add it on.
Well, you could just approve WSB's, you could just have a motion to approve WSB's memo on to authorize bidding for the Third Street project, which includes a description of the alternate. So I think that would be, I think that's fine.
It's good enough for me.
Okay, did you get that, Kathy?
I did.
I just asked a procedural question.
Go ahead, Ed.
I'm new to this, so would you bring that over to Michelle if this is approved for tomorrow's meeting for us to discuss at the city council?
The 14th Ave?
Yeah,
Yep, yeah, that's actually part of the memo for her as well,
perfect.
so
Yep.
Okay,
she's gonna sneak it through consent, but.
see, I think Kathy has it written down the way we want to say it.
Yes, she does.
So who wants to make the motion?
I can make the motion to approve the WSP bid process.
Okay,
I'll second that.
okay, excuse me, the motion in a second, all in favor say aye. Go ahead, Tom.
Tom says aye.
Nick?
Nick says aye.
Jack says aye, so that passes.
Thank you very much. We'll
Thank you.
get that rolling.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Is that all you had for me?
It is.
Please don't go too hard.
I'll be gentle, don't worry.
Yeah, that should be.
It was after lunch.
I was in a better mood.
It would make perfect sense to do it now, we're there working.
Well, that was the bid ain't for me, no.
Yeah, right. You know, over the water lines.
Sure hope.
Okay, we will move on to 6B, the winter storm impact.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll take this one as well. Memo 2607 in your packets. I think I've kind of talked to folks about this before. Winter storm Fern, and yes, winter storms do have names, just like hurricanes do. And this last one was called Fern. Before that, we had Elliott, and before that, we had Uri. So it just, so you know, this isn't anything new. That storm that we had at the end of last month had a lot of impact on the energy system. As we all know, the region suffered from some extreme cold temperatures. All the SIPA member units were called on to run, and they ran for extended periods. We ran for off and on for a week during that time. Part of the strain came from an unplanned outage on Circle 3 that lasted from January 22nd to the 25th. Because of the, well, I'm assuming because of the cold, but there was very low wind output across the entire MISO footprint. And I had heard that there was another large baseload plant more in the La Crosse area that also went offline. It was a pretty strenuous event. Many of the units in the SIPA fleet experienced failures. We've already reported on what we experienced, which was a turbo failure on unit 3 and an injector failure on unit 6. We do have the injector replaced. The oil has been recycled, and we're currently waiting for new filters and a new oil truck to come in.
Yep. So
Or-
here, next few days that everything's scheduled to start showing up here. Just lead times on that stuff is a little longer than I wishes it was. So
And I think I've shared this before. An oil change on unit 6 is 1,100 gallons of oil, so it's a project. In addition to what we experienced, I know of another turbo failure at a different member. There was a stator failure at another. Another member had a vertical drive failure. There was a building fire in one community. There was a water leak, and then in engineer speak, there was a sudden crankcase energy release, which is an explosion. So the units were strained during the event to keep the grid intact. Of course, it's always important to point out that these units are there for grid stability. They're not there for economic energy generation. So if they're running a lot, that usually means that the LMPs, or if you want to think of it as a wholesale price, meant that those were at an elevated level. MISO had actually declared an energy emergency alert stage 2, which was a public appeal for alternative load reductions because the load supply and demand was getting pretty close. The result of all of that is that SIMPA is experiencing an unanticipated. I have in here in the memo $10 million. I got an updated number from them yesterday morning. It's at $9.3 million is the unbudgeted wholesale costs that SIMPA had seen. Then that's primarily due to the difference between the day-ahead market prices and the real-time prices for Sherco 3 had been able to run as a hedge. SIMPA is able to offset some of those expenses. They have an unplanned outage self-insured program that they use, but there's still a significant cost that's in need of recovery. SIMPA's ECA program is capped at 2 cents per kilowatt hour. I did get notice that they are implementing that toward this month to prevent, and it was capped at that when the program was set up to prevent extreme price shocks to members. That is hopeful. The projection is at that rate, SIMPA is going to recover about 4.6 million, about half. So they'll still have another half of that to recover. Also learned that the SIMPA staff are going to be going to the SIMPA March board meeting to recommend that SIMPA absorb the second charge. They have enough in their cash reserves to do that as well. So I'm only anticipating this month, which I estimate to be about $100,000 impact on our finances for January. Current policy is we are using our rate stabilization fund to kind of stabilize the rates so that we're not sending these swings to our customers and giving them some price certainty. So that's the current policy. $100,000 is obviously a significant amount of money. So I wanted to make sure that the commission was aware of that. Again, current policy, if you do nothing, is we will take that $100,000 out of the rate stabilization account, which in the financial reports, you'll see sits at about 1.2 million. So that'll drop to 1.1. We're still within the bandwidth of our fiscal policies, nothing there, but again, it is a hit. So I wanted to bring it to the commission's attention that if you wanted us to do anything different, you could. I put a couple of different options. If you wanted to, you could just pass through the ECA in full. You could spread it out over a few months, or you could just let it ride and see how the month goes. As the commission, you have the authority to change that ECA whenever you want. So I'm simply looking for just some input and some direction from the commission on this. If there's anything you want us to do different.
How fast is that $100,000 moved back to the regular stabilization? Because we do add to it as we go along, right?
No, it is static. The only time we add to it is when the ECA from SIMPA is a credit. So we'll take that credit from SIMPA and put it into the rate stabilization. Because when SIMPA first set up the program, they designed it to be an annual net zero. But depending upon Sherco outages, depending upon some seasonality issues, there were times where the ECA would be a charge, and then there were times where it would be a credit. We didn't want to send those price swings to the customers. Again, we've always valued rate stability and being able to manage their cost. So we've handled that volatility for our customers. But we have not, at least in several years, we have not just taken money from our general cash reserves to put into rate stabilization because we felt like the rate stabilization was funded enough to be able to help us in these situations. So a little bit of our own insurance policy, I guess.
Okay.
But to that end, I will say that the commission always has the ability to move funds into or out of the rate stabilization fund as you see fit. So if the rate stabilization drops too much, you can take money out of cash reserves there to maintain what the commission feels is an appropriate level.
Keith,
And that would be, go ahead, Nick.
how often have you had to go into the rate stabilization fund, and put, and take money out of it?
So the SIPA ECA program has been in place both in 24 and 25, and in both years we took a little bit of money out. I don't have those numbers in front of me. I'm happy to provide that to the commission, but the balance in the rate stabilization fund has been slightly decreasing over the last couple of years.
That'd be primarily our kind of our choice.
Correct. That's based on our fiscal policy, our financial policy. And it was, I would say from staff's perspective, it's been that way because the rate stabilization account sitting at 1.2 million feels good enough to me. I don't see a need to have a whole lot of money in there. As you can see, even with an event like this, it's $100,000. So, I mean, the rate stabilization fund is able to account for that and not fall into violation of what the policy is. So it's at a good number. So that's why we haven't just been adding to it, Commissioner Novak. We didn't want to just build up cash for the sake of building up cash.
Anything else, Nick?
No,
Fine. Go ahead. Go ahead, Nick.
I will say, with it only being 100,000 instead of $200,000, I am a little bit more inclined to use the ECA fund account, the rate stabilization fund account to make up the shortfall here. I don't know if we need to do this now or if that, again, when that hits, but I'm comfortable using those funds, certainly listening to what other commissioners think.
Yeah, I think you and I are, well, maybe talk to, I don't know, but
I was thinking the same way as Nick, and I guess we all fortunately think the same way on this issue. It's like, when it was 200,000, it's probably gonna do this pretty hard, but 100,000, I'd say take that as fun. And again, not pass it on to our consumers.
this is basically our policy, that's what it's there for.
Yeah.
Correct. What the commission is describing is what our current policy is. So
I would I'd be in favor of following our policy, and again, we do have, down the road, like we have options.
And if I may,
We got a pretty big swing in what our policy is regarding to what that fund is.
correct. And just as a quick reminder, in your packets under the financial reports, if you look at the reserves table, you will see there is a column specifically for the rate stabilization. So it is something that we report on every month. So the commission has that information. This is just with such a large event that I felt it was important enough to separate it out as a specific agenda item. In case there was any desire to do something different.
Yeah, and you put together some options for us to consider. I would say 2 is definitely out for sure. 3 kind of coattails in, I guess, for a longer term.
So as we only have the first month into 2026, no single one value, but we do track that every month for the commission.
So do we need to do an action on that or just?
Unless you want us to change policy, there's no action needed. But it is something that we will continue to monitor. If LMPs continue to stay elevated, it's probably something at that time staff can bring it back to the commission for further discussion.
One, we get it.
40% on his side is not going to work the other half.
Correct.
And that's part of the overall budgeting.
Yep.
I guess if the consensus is to just follow policy, that's okay with the commission.
I'm good, Nick.
I am good as well.
Okay. And, I guess that's the direction.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Want to see, PFAS.
Yes, Mr. Chair, again, I'll take this one as well. We did receive, our latest, quarterly testing results on PFAS, or I should say PFOS in wells 8 and 9. Memorandum 2608 will detail the results that we're seeing. As a reminder, we've been doing 3 different test protocols, trying to see what variation we see in that, since we're right on the edge with what the upcoming MCLs will be, which is 4 trillion. As you can see, well 8 is just under 4, but well 9 did jump back up to just over 4, not a whole lot. We've been monitoring this for a while, so it's not something that we can say was a short-term burst. We're continuing to see indications of the PFOS in those wells, which means that when the new rules go into effect, which I think is 2030.
29.
Okay, yeah, so we saw a few years out. We would, if we don't do anything, the utility would be in violation of that EPA standard. So it's time to start looking at options. Bolton and Mank put together a phase 3 proposal to build off of the phase 1 and phase 2 that we've already done, which includes some testing, some hydrogeological work, and really looking at, okay, in order to address this, what do we do? Their work scope includes such things as some additional testing, looking at an assessment of our existing supply, storage, and treatment, and looking at potential alternatives such as granular activated carbon, ion exchange, reverse osmosis, but even doing some test wells. There's a couple of different approaches that may or may not work, which is why we need to do some investigation. One might be to find another well, and since we're so close to 4 parts per trillion, do some sort of blending to get to be under the MCL, adding some treatment to the existing existing water treatment plant number 2, or build a brand new one somewhere else. So as a reminder to the commission, we did receive a grant from the Minnesota Pollution Control Agency in the amount of $800,000 to do this ongoing work. That grant has not been fully utilized, so this proposal would be funded through that state grant. And then hopefully we can come out of this with a couple of different options for the commission to consider, and start putting a plan in place for how we're going to address this in time for when the new standards become enforceable. So we're looking for a motion to authorize Bolton and Mank to continue their investigation and start doing some engineering work to help give numbers to the commission so that you know what it means.
What options are better?
Yeah.
I thought when we had that joint meeting with the city, some of these treatment leads were darn expensive.
Yes.
Well, and what I'm thinking, we're so close to being in compliance that I just gotta believe that we can find an inexpensive way to deal with it. I guess this is what rolled around in my head. Do you think that those numbers I read an article somewhere, it might have been the resource, that in areas where it's bad, like Woodbury, whatever, there might be some different
Okay.
regulations and stuff. That it's gonna, it could be a problem, but how do you deal with it? I mean, no, we're on the edge here, but I mean.
I think,
and
I
that-
guess that there have been those questions raised, but I think it would be prudent to, base decisions based off of what the existing regulations are. And there's no guarantee that anything's gonna get
No,
repealed.
yeah, that's in the pipe dream.
Yeah,
But if we don't want to go
yeah.
out on the limb somewhere, when we find out we don't have to get or something.
How much we have left in that fund?
I don't have that number. It's enough to cover this, I think a little bit more. But the test wells can get kind of expensive, I think 60,000,
Yeah.
somewhere in there. Tens of thousands.
And a lot of that data that we're gonna collect in each of this is gonna be, say, good forever, but can be used long-term to help if we do need something down the road or as things change. It's gonna be, yeah, it's not gonna,
It's an investment a little bit is what you're saying, the expenses.
yeah, we're gonna be able to gather some information of if we go one route and down the road, we need to look at something else, we will have some information already gathered there to use going forward too.
Are we done testing? Are we gonna have to keep testing and spending money on the well state? Yeah, I suppose you always gotta test.
Yeah, we test every quarter through Department of Health. Through them, their test, we had also, these results here are some, let's say, independent, but stuff that we've been doing on our own, with the different testing methods to see how they compared. I mean, with such a small amounts that we're testing for, we wanted to do to see if there was any variations in there. Didn't really find nothing there. Helped kind of somewhat solidified the Department of Health's testing of our this going on, generally speaking, gathering from Megan, these results are usually pretty well flat across the board. So the fact that ours are up and down or kind of going varying, has everybody scratching their head to a point of why are we getting this fluctuation? So that we wanted to really explore that of if it was testing, if it was a seasonal thing. We haven't really been able to determine anything. Yeah.
So that was we hired Bolton and Mink, but partially for that reason too, but because they have a second opinion, so to speak.
Yeah, we've been very impressed with the team at Bolton Bank. Their expertise in this area is second to none, really. I mean, they really are keeping a very close watch on what's going on. And, they're the ones that they helped us get the grant, and they're the ones making sure that whatever decisions the commission ultimately makes, at least we give you the best information we got.
Okay, next, if you have, a way in there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate how we're teetering from just within compliance to just below compliance. But certainly we have to continue to gather the data. So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad we have the grant in place to absorb these costs for all the testing. If you can, Keith, it would be nice to have the balance left on that grant just for information purposes. If you could get that out to us, I think that'd be helpful to know. But yeah, clearly we need to keep testing and looking at our options. We need to be in compliance.
Well, what we're looking for though, right today is this motion on this will help us give us more guidance on which direction will be better for us to go.
Correct, because again, one of the solutions is going to be a test well, but the cost is going to be a function of where is that well going. We don't want to just dig a well and then still have the same results. Ed, he's having some problems.
Oh, I just hit the camera.
Oh.
So they're gonna look through a bunch of different options, solutions to it, from say we find a close well site to the plant right now that has good water and we bring it back to the plant to a new treatment facility. They're gonna go through, weigh out them options, look at kind of where we can go, what's short-term, long-term type of deals of solutions to get us where we need to be.
And obviously we need all that
And the grant does have an expiration date of July of 27. So part of the reason of doing all this now is at least get this in and get it fully funded. We didn't want to have one.
Because in my mind, the best option would be a second well going to the pump house and then or something. right?
Cool. And that's kind of gonna be, I think they're gonna be able to weigh out some of, you spend this much money on the well, it's not gonna be, there's no way of telling what's gonna happen. It may be really good for a year to 10 years or 20 years. We don't know what's gonna happen underground there. Or do you skip all that stuff and we put, with what we have, with our pretty good water quality that we're putting out, maybe our turnover time on the filtration stuff isn't as short as some, maybe our O&M on it isn't as bad as we anticipate. We just, that's kind of be a lot of the questions I think they're gonna be able to answer for us going forward of different options and costs and.
Did they give you an estimate cost of what this further thing?
Which,
This, what we're gonna vote on before we do the day? Okay, we'll
So-
spend another 100,000 money.
so, yeah, so the estimated cost for phase 3 is $124,000. There is a little over $18,000 remaining from phase 2 that didn't get spent. This is at the very end. So the net increase in cost is 105.
Yeah, it's
105,000.
I know I saw somewhere doing 50 or not, so.
So that's the amount that we're talking.
at the bottom.
Okay, so we're, should be kind of watching. Okay, all right. Okay, so what we're looking for just a motion to, move on with phase 3.
Yeah, motion to approve Bolton Manx phase 3 proposal.
Okay,
I make the motion to approve the phase 3 proposal.
okay, that motion,
I'll second.
motion and a second, all in favor, say aye. Tom?
Tom says aye.
Nick?
Nick says aye.
Jack says aye, so that carries. All right, we will move on to the 2025 year in review.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I gotta take the lead on this one. Every year, I think it's really important for the commission, for the staff, for the community to reflect on another successful year. Staff, I really have to give it to the staff here. They've been phenomenal, getting a lot of work done. It's really easy as things are moving quickly to forget our successes. I don't think we should forget our successes. And so this is something that I started when I came here, just so that we could document the different activities that happened. In the year in review, I highlight from each month the things that the commission has done, both from just a normal regulatory process to meet our requirements, in addition to all the individual projects and activities undertaken by with the approval of the commission, including bonding, including construction projects. Who are guest speakers, and we had Dave Dashwood from Civ in last March. Just as I'm scanning through it, we approved a customer credit for the lead and copper sampling effort, which I thought was a very good thing to increase participation. Worked on the space needs assessment, in which we had the 2 next year attend and helping to look at what made sense for that project. Passed a resolution for an issuance of bonds to do the North Water Tower. That was in cooperation with the city. Scheduling the joint meeting, having Bolton and Maine come in and present on the PFAS stuff that was with the city, so that everybody was aware of what's going on. Approving bid packages for phase 2, updating the employee handbook with an eye towards the regulations that had changed, and planning doing the budget and planning for the construction in 2026. So that was, again, the commission did all of that work in it. I also added in major activities from the different departments. The water department completed the galvanized service line replacement project, reconditioned the north water tower, installed a chlorine analyzer at treatment plant 2, dehumidifier at treatment plant 1, worked on the MPCA grant, which we just talked about, replaced the VFD at well 9, purchased a vacuum truck, which will help us as we do more and more undergrounding work. And then on the electric side, the completion of phase 1, which included 200 new residential services, 150 single phase transformers, 8 three-phase transformers, 8,000 feet of interduct, 9 volts, 500 primary cable connection elbows. I mean, you can see that our line crew was very busy. So hats off to them as well. Started planning for phase 2. Worked on the service territory transfer from East Central Energy to the utility that occurred in June. Completed 850 locates, handled over 100 day-to-day service orders. Several meetings with private developers, the city, the county, working on new services. I have the reliability results in there from 2025, which we won APP's Excellence in Reliability Award last year, as well as the Safety Award. Power plant, we continue to do offer tours of that, particularly through the Chamber of Commerce's leadership group, as they're part of their History of Princeton Day. Successfully renewed the air permit from the PCA with the power plant, which is always an adventure. And started replacing the windows in the power plant from the old original ones, which were well past their time. Doing some building maintenance, completing the tuck pointing, adding gutters to the warehouses, purchasing some new equipment. On the administrative side, I think it's always important to recognize just the day-to-day stuff that you guys don't even see anymore, because they were approved many years ago. But completing the monthly meeting minutes and packets, so that would be Kathy handles a lot of that for us. Evaluating, updating health insurance benefits, renewing insurance packets, workers' comp, continuing our presence on social media, conducting annual staff reviews. Kathy processes all invoices twice a month, then provides account payable list to the commission for certification, monitors the bank accounts daily, records interest on all bank accounts, CDs, and investments. She's always checking interest rates when they mature. Balancing sales tax accounts and files, returns monthly, completing the annual inventory, balancing books, working with the auditors, the trial balance. She's busy. There is a lot of work that goes behind the scenes just to, keep everything moving forward. Same on the billing and rates, updating the cogen and small power production tariff, conducting cross-training on several of the billing steps, documenting the full process, inactivating the irrigation accounts every winter, processing over 3,000 bills each month, 2,200 which are paper, 1,000 which are electronic, and 200 customers get both. Processing approximately 387 new customer applications each year. That's our move-in move-outs that we do all the time. Renewed the budget billing options, enrolled participants in our mission renew program. And then the big one, which was we began switching all billing and accounting to Cassell, which I'm happy to report we printed bills out of Cassell yesterday. So they got sent to the post office. So the e-bills went out yesterday. We have been getting a few phone calls, just with some of the ACH stuff not being documented the same way, so trying to answer that. In our online portal, the daily balance file, there's just been a little hiccup there, but we're getting that fixed. We knew there was going to be some stuff, so.
Are we still running 2 books?
No, we are in Cassell.
So the girls don't have double books?
Correct. It's not 2 books. We don't have.
Yeah. 2 systems.
Yeah, we were.
A good book and a bad.
No, we were running the 2 systems in parallel just to make sure everything, when we transitioned, everything was smooth and accurate. On the customer relations side, we continue to do billing inserts, celebrate Public Power Week, fielded 8,900 calls in 2025, an average of 24 calls per day come through the office. Awarded the new scholarship, which was presented by our chair at awards night at school. All staff participate in ongoing cybersecurity education, setting up the monthly AV needs for these meetings, replacing several computers, updating Microsoft licenses. On the legal and regulatory side, completing all federal reporting requirements for both the federal and state, which I've listed here. And then I already kind of mentioned our safety committee meets quarterly. We replaced and updated some first aid kits, completed and updated the emergency action plan. We did have 2 members attend an OSHA webinar as well. Again, we won the APPA Safety Award last year. And we continue to participate in safety trainings provided by Safe Assure. That again is in partnership with the city. We do ours together and got a better rate on that as opposed to us doing it separately. Continue with our random drug testing for all staff with CDLs, and then conducting our annual our federal motor carrier review for those. In terms of our stakeholder engagement, general manager, I'm sorry, Scott and I will meet with the city to discuss our wellhead protection efforts to meet our requirements there. We meet with the city on numerous development projects, joined in on the bonding effort, which I mentioned before, met with the city on some community beautification efforts such as holiday lighting, which is an ongoing effort, joined the city in celebrating Public Safety Day on September 6th. As the commission knows, I serve on the MMUA board, and I've been a member of the joint MMUA MREA, which is the co-ops work group. We attend the legislative conference, which is coming up at the end of March. Again, this year, letting Senator Matthews and Representative Lawrence know the issues facing municipal utilities, and attend other various MMUA conferences and webinars to connect with our peers and learn from each other as to best practices. I also participate in the weekly Government Relations Committee meeting during the session. MMUA does a salary survey and other miscellaneous surveys that we participate in. In regards to SIMPA, I am a member of the Finance and Audit Committee, and then I attend the monthly SIMPA board meetings. I also have to file reports with them, so those are something that we do each year. Looking at new generation contract language updates, worked on the new quick start language. We did host the SIMPA board meeting in August here in Princeton. And then they also have a budget rates workshop in September, which I go to. And then even for some others, we've attended seminars and conferences with APPA. I know Scott and his staff will go to the Minnesota Rural Water Association's annual conference, which is coming up next week. And it was in my report, if you didn't catch it, Goldman Bank is presenting a case study on us so that we can help our peers. We're all dealing with the same issue. We've done some work here to help with the Mille Lacs County Historical Society, participated in the Run River Festival and mini dazzle parades. Again, I mentioned that Chair Edmonds presented the scholarship at the high school awards ceremony, attended some ribbon cuttings. The chair and I attended the manufacturing labor industry breakfast hosted by Princeton Public Schools. We've given guided tours of the power plant, attended some chamber lunch and learns. I participated in a virtual career panel for the Humphrey School as well, letting some graduate students know about municipal utilities in the state. Done some big check pictures with Glen Metalcraft, Classic Products, Walmart. Report on the energy efficiency results for 2024, because those numbers don't come out till late May, early June typically, so that's always a year behind, as well as Interlight, which is the grass that you see on the bill. Celebrating Public Power Week, participating in Light Up Princeton, and of course installing a week of holiday decorations. So again, this is all these guys. So I think it's really amazing. And again, appreciate the direction and guidance and oversight that the commission provides, and just shows all the things that we're doing for the community.
Things that get taken for granted.
Well, I'm just gonna say one thing to start with here is reading through this, and I read it, prior to the meeting today, and looking at it now here in the purple. Nothing illustrates more the value of having our in-city, hometown public utilities more than this document here. Cannot be measured in dollars and cents. There's nothing in this. care what anybody says, thinks, that's my opinion, well, that's, I think the facts speak for themselves. That's my stump speech. Do you guys have anything to add, or?
Yeah, I concur. Thank you, Keith, for taking the time to put all that together. Thank you to the entire staff. I stopped by the office this morning, super happy. They seem really relieved to have Casella up and running and everything transferred over. Hopefully you start gaining the efficiencies you planned on and the additional reporting. I concur with Jack. I'm proud to be involved in this as a commissioner. You guys are doing all the work, and your guys' feet hit the ground every day. But yeah, it's impressive what you guys accomplish. I appreciate you putting the document together. It does speak extremely well for what the organization's doing, and I'm proud to be a part of it, just in the small way I am as a commissioner. Bravo to everyone.
And thank you for taking the position. You had Tom both. Anything to add, Tom?
I think, it would just repeat what you guys said. Can't. I've only been on the commission a year, but I've learned a lot. And even from fresh residents, how much naive I am from what you guys been doing on the path that we're going.
I'll speak to that. I've been 4.5 years now on the commission. And I was involved before that, so they had stuff too, so. But there probably isn't a meeting goes by that I don't pick up on something or well, need refreshers and whatever. It's invaluable. It's such an honor for me to serve here. And I can't say enough for the staff, because, we can sit here and stump our chest, but it's them. These guys do it.
Yeah.
We're the visibles. Yeah, but they see them guys more than us, and when they're out there and fixing and whatever they do.
But a lot of people take for granted when they plug in the light or their toaster in the morning or turn on the water, how hard it is to get it there.
And that was, well, this morning I was at the chamber, talking to Nick with there too, and he, I don't know how we can document it, but over the years, and I've been here my whole life, to get outside of town, 100 feet, and they got no power, the lights are on here.
Yeah.
And that's, you can't measure that value in dollars expense. The service that we've become taken for granted, as you said.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pass it on to your fellow workers. Anybody else got anything to add, or? You don't need to ask it, man, of course.
No, it's a report that I think,
It's very valuable report. Thank you so much for putting it together.
Can I ask Mr. Busher, can we get separate copies of just that document to share with the council?
yeah, absolutely.
Or I don't know if you would like it goes on the website and I can just email.
No, I'll email you, TJ.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's also work for in we get the
Yeah,
minutes are in our document, I think, too.
yeah, I don't
Yeah,
want
but I-
folks to miss it and
Right.
freeze
Yeah,
over.
Emphasize it.
Absolutely. Okay, city council update.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'll take this one. I just want to make sure that, the commission is kept apprised of, the conversations going on at the city council. There've been a couple of discussions, again, this is more just informational, in regards to the, presentation by Connexus. The council voted to cancel that, March 5th work session. I think you folks had something else planned now for an agenda item on March 5th. During that conversation, Councilor Garrell did state that, when talking about the sale of municipal utility, that it is not the commission's decision, it's city council decision. I just want to just correct the record, that's incorrect. Minnesota statutes 412.321 regarding municipal utilities, subdivision 4. It's in the memo 2609, that Any such utility may be leased, sold, or its operation discontinued wholly or in part by ordinance or resolution of the council approved by 2/3 of the electors voting on the ordinance or resolution at general or special election. And then the last sentence, I added the emphasis for the commission's attention. If the utility is under the jurisdiction of a public utilities commission, the ordinance or resolution shall be concurred in by the Public Utilities Commission. So you get, it does show that the commission's opinion is of importance if when that topic comes up.
If I'm reading that right, so it's a three-way vote, really.
All three things have to happen.
All three have to happen for.
The residents gotta say yes, the council's gotta say yes, and the commission's gotta say yes.
Correct. So just wanted to clarify that, the appointment, as folks are already aware, was voted to be tabled until March 12th, in which case the city council will make their decision on that. And then, for discussion, Councilor Taylor is here, as liaison. Again, appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's very helpful, I think. I thought it would be, if you folks wanted to have a discussion, about this or anything else, I thought this would be a good time for you folks to communicate.
I guess I appreciate you here. I think we've had long conversation. The more we all communicate together, the better decisions get made.
That's my hope as well is, I mean, if there's ever anything that, obviously the mayor is here as well, but anything that I can help bring back to the council, any of your thoughts, there's been conversation as to what we'll discuss during the joint meeting. If there's any wishes of the commission that you'd like me to bring back to the city, and vice versa, any information that I get from the city that would be useful here, I would be likely communicating with the general manager to get on the agenda. Yeah.
We haven't set that meeting date yet or anything.
No, we haven't.
Again, I would have nothing in the moment, but certainly something, maybe two or different. I just gonna say, from a historical perspective, to the best of my knowledge, I may be the first elected that's ever been on the commission, though I don't know how. At least in my lifetime that I remember.
Historian Holman. Do you recall any other?
Not since I've been here, and I haven't gotten back far enough into the archives to.
So before we started the Casal conversion, one of our side projects I talked to Kathy about was putting together a little bit more of a historical record so that we can answer those kind of questions. It's there somewhere in the office building. It's never been compiled into a document.
And I guess where I'm going with this is, when I made I was appointed to fill, I believe it was Greg Hanson's position. And then to fill it out. And then when that term was up, I also ran for city constable. Well, the two went hand in hand. I got elected and I got reappointed. And at that time, I think it was just kind of we have a council member there, go and lay it, but nobody stepped up and wanted to do it. Not that it would have been discouraged by me, but she always comes to meetings then. So I just to make sure we understand that the layers position has always been there. But because of the coincidence, or it's coincidental, not by design, I'm not here because I'm elected, but the statute does allow for an election. And I do is kept I'm sure some utilities do have an elected by their internal policies. Oh, Elk River, the mayor is on there, but I don't know if it's a policy or not. Just to clear that, lost Nick.
Yeah, we lost Nick,
Oh, okay.
but it got quiet, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clear that history up so that not take it out of context or out of what I mean. Again,
Yep.
I'm here because I found language that I could.
That never, well, that had to be verified, but that's not the reason. Just to make that clear, so.
Since we lost Nick, do we have to do something different here, Keith?
I noted it.
Okay. Because we're about done.
Yeah,
Yeah, you still have a quorum,
Okay.
right.
so.
Yeah, the only other action item is meeting date, so this isn't really an action item.
No, it's not. It was just trying to provide an environment for you.
Framework.
Yeah.
Yeah, building it.
Which I'm happy to do it, you know, if this works, I mean, we can always have, you know, you provide a report or something like this, just whatever we can do to, you know, keep communication.
Mhm.
Yeah, and having you report to the console, you know, between you and three, we can make a report, I'm sure, so.
Yeah, I've got better notes this time, but then also that your
Oh.
review I can't, it's not all up here, so being able to say,
No, but it helps you to understand
yeah.
your position and what's expected of you, I guess.
Mhm.
But again, historically, there always has been a liaison, it's only because of its coincidental situation that the conflict that, but that wasn't because we eliminated. And anybody, when Nick is gone, so it's just us. Okay. Anything else to add to the report? To the year-end review?
We're on the city council update.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, so no, I don't have anything to add.
And I look forward to having a joint session. That'd be good. I don't know, so later than sooner or whatever, but
Mhm.
it'd be nice. Just so everybody understands where we're standing.
I would hope that we could keep it more.
As far as appointing, you know, commissioners and stuff, I would hope the council takes in qualifications. Then not just pick somebody because we have 10 apps, you gotta pick somebody. Well, if none of them are qualified, we just don't want to throw a lot in here because I mean, there's some decisions here I think a guy's got to think about. I mean, definitely, you're talking millions of dollars for some stuff. You just don't want to be throwing, you know, a rock at it. You want to think about it.
Well, you know, we've had, I think we had a pretty constant commission for many, many years. And it's only been, what, the last, oh, that, what, Dan, Greg, Rick, there was some turnover here in my two cycles.
Yeah, you guys are never constant.
No, not in the last, well, the last few cycles. You know, there wasn't a commission for many years, it never changed in here, but. And that's, I was advised actually back then for part of it anyway, it, I don't know, kicked off in about 20 years.
Like I said, I understand wanting more people be involved, but like I said, hopefully they're qualified people.
But then again, the applications have been open for 3 months now, because they're extended, and there are no more applicants.
Well, I think we can check on an update for that tomorrow as well, because I'm getting mixed messages on the amount of talent who are applying or the quality of talent. And so my hope is for the next cycle around, we get a little better at advertising and promoting ourselves, and we get folks interested, not just when tempers are high, but when you're wanting to do better and help and be involved. And so, I mean, I know I worked at colleges for a while, and even though people were present and physically there, they still weren't volunteering. Even though they're standing there, it's like, could you pick up a chair? No. Okay. Well, we want to make it better. So the hope is just advertising a little better, trying new things, maybe.
Or recruiting different. I mean, not necessarily advertising, but if you know somebody in the city, like
That's my Tommy Nick right here.
Yeah.
and I mean, being recruited is probably a little more, I should say, at least, you might say you could sway the thought of the commission that way, but I think if you target people who may like me, I never even thought about it. You know, and my neighbor Dan was commissioned for 8 years. I didn't think of nothing about it, you know, But then when I was approached and recruited, well, then, yeah, hey, I'd like to get involved.
Mhm.
We would approach certain business people or something in town.
Different events like Chamber of Commerce stuff
Yeah.
or Manufacturing Week or.
Yeah, people are already maybe a little bit involved in the community that are qualified to
Mhm.
the city here. Instead of advertising like a want ad.
Mhm. Well, there's vocal people on Facebook and they may
Yeah.
not necessarily be the best fit for something, but
Yeah.
they definitely have opinions of the work that you all do, so.
Yeah.
Well,
Nobody likes a bill.
we have to
Yeah, I know.
the commission is not an advisory board to the council. We're totally, the council appoints and that stop right there. And I'll have them involved and working together, that's fantastic. But we are not an advisory board, like the planning commission or the park board or, we're totally independent by state statute. Designed that way.
Well, there's maybe some clarifying we could do in our ordinances and policies and making sure that institutional knowledge and history is there, because I think there's been some misconceptions in like the conversation that came up when I inquired about a 3-member board versus a 5-member, kind of got out of hand and snowballed into where we were in that last conversation. So my hope is to communicate better, and the more like I gain knowledge and I help facilitate conversation as well.
And that's ideal, and
Yeah.
and that probably has been lacking. But your point only one, doesn't matter going forward, what matters.
Mhm.
Uh,
I kind of Kool-Aid man into rooms sometimes. It's I'm working on it.
we were all, I remember my 16th year of elected public service, and they not did one level, I did something else. I never quit learning. I remember my first year very well, so a lot to learn.
Mhm.
I gotta keep an open mind. My basic agenda is to do with all of us working together, what the end result should be, not just my personal opinion, but the end result, hopefully, is what's best for the community.
Yeah.
We're all serving by the same taxpayers, ratepayers, with little exception, I guess, ratepayers that are in the city. But the bottom line is, whatever the elected body decide, hopefully it's in the best interest of the residents of our city. Anybody else? Again, I thank you for doing that. Give you a ball. Okay, March commission meeting.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I'm bringing a request to postpone the March 18th meeting, which we had actually moved a week earlier from March 25th due to the MMUA legislative conference. So we tried, we were gonna have it a week earlier. Because of upcoming, because I'm gonna be out of the office for a week, the timing on that's getting pretty tight for us to be able to get, for me to be able to get everything together for the packets and this, the level that the commission expects. So I'm requesting that we postpone the March meeting to the week after. That seemed to work best when I reached out to individual commissioners to see if there was a date that would work for folks. And having it Wednesday, April 1st at 1 p.m. So that would be our March meeting, because you're required under statute to meet once a month. But for the calendar, you will actually meet twice in April, just how that would work out. So I'm requesting that we move the March 18th meeting to April 1st. Same place, same time.
And technically it would be 2 in the same month, but April's a long month, we have 5 Wednesdays, so it's still, or the timeline between meetings.
Yeah, so we did lose Nick, Commissioner Nowak here, but when I communicated with him, he said April 1st works for him as well.
Any motion on it?
I guess.
I make motion for April 1st.
Okay, I'll second it. Yeah, I'll say aye.
Tom says aye.
Aye. Okay, then I'll just, last year, the MMU convention. I went down there, it was a 2-day deal, and, Corky was there, Paul, you know, was there. But I did go down for legislative day, and we met with, Kansas and Brian. And I planning on going this year, I haven't locked it in for sure, but I just go for the day, drive down there, and then we go to the Capitol. And we do some kind of group stuff, where we have lunch together and different. So it's kind of nice to meet the other, got to meet Carly and the president. I'm planning on trying to do it this year again, I haven't locked it in yet. So I don't know, would it be inappropriate for a couple to go up in Tom the next one?
I'm unable to, Jack, so it's not.
That would be challenging.
You almost have to record it as a public meeting.
Yeah, I think it would be better if we didn't do that, would be my
And
recommendation.
I'm good, I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah,
And I don't know, I'll get you here is going. If you wanted to go, I wouldn't.
yeah.
And I go, how about you, Nick?
I mean, I wasn't prepared for that specifically, but I mean, the idea of
We got-
having opportunity rotate each year as it comes in, like if folks are interested, otherwise. I think
Well, it
you'd be a
wouldn't be a
good
conflict.
representative.
It wouldn't be a conflict for you and I to be there.
Right.
Right.
Meeting.
Yeah, I just don't know that I can go this time around, but
No, that's fine, I'm just throwing it out there.
Mhm.
We got some time to think about it.
Well, I did get you signed up for the MMUA stuff, so hopefully you're getting those emails.
Yeah.
If you see anything on there that's of interest.
okay.
Okay. We're down to number 7.
Make a motion to determine.
Have a motion, I'll second it, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, we're adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.